Things sure get spooky here in Sprunky Town. I just knew we should have went to Funky Town. Well, while we're here, we might as well play the pyramid. Check out the pyramids inside. Look, it's Orin. And it looks like she's in good company. Don't you just hate it when someone gets under your skin? Of course, Oaxis will see our side soon enough. See? He's already embracing his dark side. Pretty soon, he won't be the only one. Orin knows it's best to keep an open mind. But we can always reuse these parts. Jeepers creepers, time to add some peepers. Don't worry, the heat will cauterize everything. Well, almost. Does anyone have a napkin? Still, now there's plenty of room for some fresh new organs. And now it looks like ribs are on the menu. Oh, it looks like Ratty wants to say hi. But now it looks like he needs to split. No bones about it. Still, let's help him get the point. Ooh, ouch. He could use some color, like a nice coat of green. Red and green just pair well together. I think Simon needs a little privacy. But we've got to keep on schedule. Besides, don't you want to show everyone your new smile? Anyone in the mood for pasta? You know, Simon always wanted to be a Cyclops. Of course, they usually have at least one eye. Veneria could use a little haircut. How about a new do? And maybe some eye surgery. Hair's not the only thing that gets extensions. And we don't just mean eyes either. Looks like someone's got a big mouth. Now for teeth. Ooh, anyone up for a bite? Hey, Pinky, how about a makeover? What you need are some seashells and clay. Let's add eyes. Of course, you only need 2. And who says mouths can't be vertical? Almost done. Just need ears. Come on, Sky. Open wide, like at the dentist's. Careful about dribbling. Now for a little trepanning. Are things too bright in here for you? Try on some shades, but you still want to see. You're never fully dressed without slime. Everyone sure looks spooky, kooky, and altogether ooky. So how about a little before and after to finish things off? Roll the dice. You got double binaria. Wow, now those are some real snake eyes. But that slime screams more snail than anything. So how about you all break out of your shell? Of course, sometimes it's safer to stay inside. Okay, someone tell Paul to pick up his giraffe. Oh no, your friends. Well, save what's left of them. We can always make new ones. Ugh, drain that slime. You know, if you're making a spider, 8 eyes is enough. Make a mouth. He can hold our Sprunky friends. But we should probably add a cover. Not to mention some holes for teeth. Use nails. I'm sure you get the point. Add some paint. Black is your color. Of course, a little red never hurt anyone. Guess everybody needs to get a head. Our new friend is a sharp-dressed thing. Uh-oh, guess who's back? Stomach bigger than your eyes? This guy's another story. Look at those teeth. You're in good company. Okay, I could have phrased that better. Here, try this on for size. Look at those eyes. It's important to love the skin you're in. A purple dinosaur. Well, it worked for Barney. And you know what goes great with purple. Some pink for a nice fleshy mouth. Ooh, what sharp nails, or should we say, teeth. It looks like our dino's switching to dragon, which means he'll need to breathe some fire. In other words, we're cooking with gas. Next up, let's add something for the eye. Once the retinas are secure, add some black. Now, turn on the lights. Next up, let's add some horns. Drink umbrellas might just be for decoration. But when it comes to dragons, frills are never unnecessary. Here, we've got your back. Now, how about some melon? Never knew watermelon was so crunchy. This should help you grow a spine. But fruit's just a starter. How about some seafood? Always love the fin you're in. Hey, it's lunchtime. Spread those wings. It's chicken time. Make sure you save those bones. I mean, he might want to chew on them, but this works too. Still, those bones are looking kinda bony. Of course, balloons can always lift you up. Especially when you use them for webbing. Keep things aerodynamic and color coordinated. Ooh, someone wants to lend a helping hand. Arm. Add them on. Gotta love the T-Rex look. Speaking of T-Rex, he's got something for you. Purple clay to cover him up. Put some meat on those bones. Now add some texture. And we should replace those nails. Next up, add some spikes. Some paint. And a little ooze is always appreciated. Time for the big debut. Now where are we on those marshmallows?
Huh? Hmm? Hmm?
You know, Riley's always got an open mind. And it's just filled with surprises, like new crafting material. Guess Dolly here's getting a little makeover. But don't forget, we're gonna need some teeth. Open wide. Mr. Funnyface here wants to help too. Now let's add some new eyes. We can squeeze in a little rhinoplasty. Now let's check up with our elephant. Careful, it's getting hot in here. Now that is one hot pachyderm. Some toothpicks will make some great spikes. Guess there's a sale on nose jobs today. Hey, TV times for after building. Besides, we can use some wires. Red is your color, but you can't beat basic black. Al dente. In other words, to the tooth. Let's check on Dolly. Now you might feel a slight pinch. Don't worry, we've got new ones ready for you. Let's throw in some legs while we're at it. These new fingers cut straight to the point. A slinky? Ooh, we can use this for ribs. Now cover her up with some foil and clay. Wow, that blue really matches her hair. It's back to our elephant friend. Sand him up, add some color, and throw on some spikes. Don't forget the slime. And tough nails. Ooh, that is one tough apple. But save those teeth. Could also use some eyes. Aw, feeling blue? Speaking of blue, why not try a chain? Let's fix that chip on your shoulder. Some staples and thread should help keep things together. Who's up for a little facial mask? Now add a little something between the eyes. These glasses are a bit cracked, but they'll do. And why don't we undo your do? Ooh, nice sweater. Can we borrow it? It's just what we need for Dolly's new wardrobe. Of course, it could use a little customization. I think this reminds me of our old friend, Sadness. But in a scarier form, I guess. Voila! Dance for the folks at home. Now let's show off our elephant friend. It's always fun with spooky little ghouls like you.